Hi everybody. Before um past before pre- I'm present day Bob. I realized that
Anywho,
do you mind, Annie? Okay. I realized that in the video you're about to watch, I don't explain why it's funny that the one guy in the Quantum Leap episode didn't want help from the Russians and refused to get help from the Russians. And why it was such a big deal that Ben knocked on their space station's door. Okay, this guy was very old fashioned, but today that's funny because the Russians, for a while there, we were using their space equipment, the rockets and whatnot. And that's why it was such a big deal that the SpaceX allowed us to use our own rockets again, basically. I have that here on the channel, that the first, how to put it, the first American rocket launch in a long, long time. You can watch it here in my playlist. The first launch thanks to SpaceX. Um, yeah, again, I really enjoyed the episode. I really hope you enjoy my review. This might be my last long one in a while. I might do a couple short ones here and there, but I would like to try something new on the channel. So enjoy, or don't. Either way, watch me. Like, comment, subscribe, like he's gonna say. Okay, I'll remind you again at the end. Good. 2 of the new Quantum Leap adventures. I'm doing this because the first one did really well on my channel. So this, I hope, will do meh. But, yeah, call me a sellout, call me whatever. But, um, I promised I would tell you more about Bar Karma and what it was. So I will. But first, um, for anyone that's new here, I'm also a bit of a space nerd. And I'd like to make a correction. The Artemis rockets aren't called SpaceX rockets, although SpaceX does help us out now. Yeah, I screwed up and called them SpaceX rockets. And I also made it seem like they were robbing Live Aid when in fact the people in the first episode's bank robbery weren't robbing Live Aid, they were robbing a museum. They were what? He was the getaway guy that Ben Song leaped into was watching Live Aid with David Bowie. But yeah, just two minor corrections from last time. In this one, they covered that they were that at one point the rocket that he leaped into was going to meet with Mir, and I vaguely remember Mir. Mir used to be Russian Soviet space station. My memory of Mir was they used to have a old textbook in my homeroom at at elementary school and high school. But I liked looking it over. The teacher knew this. I liked looking it over. Every chance I got, it would fascinate me that they were planning to do all this wonderful stuff, but never quite came to be. So I I would have it read to me almost constantly when I was in a good mood. So I thought they were gonna go that route and say, "Oh, it was part of a mission that," because I knew that Ben's song, unless Quantum Leap took place in an alternate reality, Ben's song would have to make it home safe. Because as far as we know, because I know I have some people that would disagree with me watching. But as far as we know, there has only been two catastrophic failures, not counting the first Apollo mission, I think. But and those two failures are, and the ones that I've lived through anyway, Challenger and Discovery. And unless Ben lived in an alternate reality, he leaped before Discovery, but after Challenger. And they even reference Challenger later in the episode. And they reference David Bowie in this one too. They have him do a spacewalk, which is really cool. His wife says this is amazing, and that she, even though she's not really here, she's there in spirit, something to that effect. I have looked up a lot about Quantum Leap lately. And I heard the complaint that from the one of the YouTube channels called Healed versus Babyface, this particular episode didn't feature a lot of leaping. Well, what do you expect? I mean, it needs to set up the material first before we can go into the Marilyn Monroe episodes or the Lee Harvey Oswald episodes or the one where he helps out his brother twice. That was another correction. Not just once, twice. I related to that one. Yeah, if you know me, you know why. But, yeah, long story. But I did like in that earlier episode where Scott Bakula gets to perform Imagine by John Lennon to his little sister. Yeah, you can look that scene up. It's really touching. She cries and says that she doesn't want Scott to be from the future. And I just like that scene because I too like John Lennon. So, anyway, back to this episode. I am kind of curious to see where they're going with him leaping into similar things as the original Scott Bakula. Because are they gonna have him like be following Scott Bakula's? Is he going to? Are they following Scott Bakula's lead, like the trail, or is the location that Ben's leaping to? Because I was right, and he's leaping for a purpose. I kind of cheated because I looked at. I had seen the the little trailer at the end. But anyway, are are they going to the diner at the end of time or whatever it's called, the place where Mirror Image takes place? Is that where they're gonna leap him into on until the big cliffhanger at season 2? Because again, going back to the ending of the original Quantum Leap, you find out Sam was in charge of the leaps the whole entire time, and they kind of reference that when he's going out to fix the thing on the spacewalk, his wife says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Controlling the leap," which proves my original point that he and Sam are like two separate characters. Ben, I kind of got that when he was rough on that pawn store owner. Scott Bakula's character would have never done that. He would have said, "Well, golly hell, there's got to be a way to." No, Ben just boom right to the counter. You know, and it was like, okay, this is gonna be a different show, and it kind of is, but at the same time, the seeds for Quantum Leap are still there. So, you're gonna get your car chases, but there's also gonna be sweet moments like when his wife doesn't want to explain that they're gonna get married in what was it, 6 or 8 months, Mom? 6 months. They end up getting married though, Mom. Okay. Just so to, why I think that the Bar Karma characters should show up. Bar Karma was originally designed by the fans. It was kind of like a Quantum Leap, only the people would walk through the doors, kind of like how Sam walked through the door at Mirror's Edge, and they have to figure out the problems of the patrons that week. And like I said, the fans designed everything about Bar Karma. We none of my scripts ever got picked, but they would set up little cards like a fun game, and all of the scripts were written by fans. I don't expect them to do that, but I would like I said in the original video, the character of James to come back. Because, yeah, I think that character would fit nicely in the new Quantum Leap after they finally leap Ben to wherever they're going to leap him. They were fighting something big too before it ended. And that show only got one season. We didn't get to see the fun stuff like um Chuck Yeager going into the bar or Robert Kennedy or none of the major historical figures. But I've always wondered how they'd handle. I mean, I like that Al's daughter is another leaper, and I enjoyed that. But there were a bunch of in-between leaps, too. I've also found out about the Quantum Leap books, so that could fill in that gap, too. I've basically heard that they're not canon. You're on YouTube. Look it up on your own time. But my general point is, if they have an idea for season 2, an idea how to connect Sam, they're gonna have to explain where he's been for the last 30 some odd years. You don't just go, and he never made it home, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a guy searching for him. First question's gonna be, where have you been for the last 30 years? Again, I hope this gets to season 2. I hope it set up a lot of mysteries. I wasn't mad that there wasn't a lot of leaping. It's its own show. If you don't enjoy it, give it at least till episode 4. I think it's setting up a lot of fascinating breadcrumbs. I wondered if it was going to go the Timeless route, where Timeless actually had them interact with actual points in our timeline. I never looked up if the astronaut that Ben Song leaped into was real. But like I said, it didn't matter. He got home anyway. But if he was real, let me know in the comments. Let me know your general thoughts on everything I've discussed in this video. The books, there being a gap between Quantum Leap A and Quantum Leap B. Were you part of the Bar Karma forums? Let me know. How do you think the show would improve? Like, comment, subscribe. Those things are important. You must like, comment, subscribe. I've been Bob. This has been The Other World According to Bob. I really enjoyed the episode. Keep it up. Bob out.